and welcome to the Beauty Know-It-All. I feel like I've got ears on up there with that mask, but actually how apt, because it's Easter weekend. So I thought I'd save you some money, and I thought I would share my beauty dupes. In fact, my skincare dupes. I'm going to do save versus splurge on some of the interesting products that have come across my desk recently. I did a feature in Hello covering both skincare and makeup, and it was really popular. So I thought I'd focus on skincare this week, and then I'll do makeup next week. So you know that when really big companies launch products, they tend to try and go for patents, not because they necessarily want an ingredient to be absolutely brilliant and to work amazingly, because we already know there are ingredients out there that aren't patented that work really well, but because essentially they just want to tie something down so nobody else can copy it and they have a unique selling point. Well, some of these products contain ingredients that used to be patented and are now no longer patented, or they've kind of been tweaked by other companies so they become available, so that, for example, things like hyaluronic acid are widely available, and granular skin cleansers are widely available that contain acids that are released when they're mixed with water, all those sorts of things. Anyway, basically, products tend to start out super expensive and then the technology trickles down, especially within really big companies like the Lauder Group that owns Clinique and Estee Lauder, but also MAC and Bobbi Brown and Jo Malone and so many different companies, Smashbox, and within the L'Oreal Group they own Kiehl's and Shuramura and Lancome, but they also own L'Oreal Paris and Maybelline and Kerastase. So basically technology travels down probably from the more upmarket expensive products down to the more mass market, masstige products. So let's have a look. Let's start with one I actually mentioned in Hello. You know that every single day I use a hyaluronic acid serum. I'm totally and completely addicted. And this was one of the first ones that I ever got specifically really addicted to. When I started doing TV, I got addicted to Dr. Sibag's Serum Repair. And essentially it's pretty much 100% pure hyaluronic acid. And I remember talking about it on TV once and demonstrating on the back of a presenter's hand. And I said to him, if you put just the right amount on, you'll notice you get hydration and then the skin tightens. And I've talked about how I use it under here and it tightens, and around here and it tightens. And if you don't put too much of a moisturiser on the top, that hydration, but also that tightness where it sits on the surface of the skin, lasts. I love it. It's an absolutely brilliant product. I swear by it. It was one of the first of its kind on the market. Surprise, surprise, the technology has trickled down. This is the ordinary hyaluronic acid serum. Now, in between is the NEOD multi-molecular HA, which I love, but which doesn't tighten so much, it purely hydrates. And that's because different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid work in certain different ways. Some go into the skin and where they lock in moisture, some stay on the top surface of the skin where they trap moisture from the air. These are the ones that actually sit on the surface of the skin. Anyway, that I think is £68. That's less than a fiver. And it does virtually exactly the same thing. It's completely brilliant. It goes on super lightweight, super watery, slightly sticky, just like this one, and then it dries and it tightens. As I said, £68, less than a fiver. Very clever. Let's have a look at hyaluronic acid in a different form. Now, you'll know that a lot of skincare companies, if you don't like that stickiness or you don't want that serum, you want to find hyaluronic acid in either gels or serums or moisturisers. It's basically the in ingredient at the moment. Clinique are just about, Clinique are just about to launch this. Now this is from their Moisture Surge range, and this is Moisture Surge Super Active Hydrating Supercharged Concentrate. And you know what? I love it. I predicted in the first week of the new year in Hello that gels and jellies were going to be the hottest ingredient in beauty, and they are. This is unscented, basically pretty much hyaluronic acid boosted gel, and it's a beautiful, beautiful formulation. It goes on essentially super soft, unscented, so important for skincare. I really don't like scented skincare. And it super hydrates. I mean, the difference on my hand in just a few seconds is incredible. It doesn't tighten as it dries. This one really is for hydration. In the summer, this is really going to come into its own. It is, she said, checking the price because it's yet to be launched, I think it's going to be about £30. Now, L'Oreal Paris have launched Hydro Genius. Now this is only £9.99, and in fact in the UK at the moment it's discounted to £6.99 I think on Boots. Now this is essentially the same thing. This is a combination of hyaluronic acid, and they've also put skin soothing aloe vera in. And I was so excited when this landed on my desk, which was only yesterday, and I had to try it straight away. Now this is different. It's a milky serum, and I'm loath to do this for one reason and one reason only. There's the milky serum, and I'm going to rub it into my arm. To be honest, feels virtually identical to that. Instantly cooling. You can feel the hyaluronic acid supercharge into the skin. It hydrates everything. I'm just putting it on my elbow. It's just an absolutely brilliant serum for that money. The aloe vera is going to come into its own in the summer because it's going to cool and soothe. It's an anti-inflammatory and an anti-irritant. The hyaluronic acid is the key active ingredient. What do I dislike about it? The smell. Oh my God. It smells like a teenage disco. It smells like a men's aftershave, which if you are not remotely sensitive to smells or scents and you don't mind having your skincare scented, save yourself loads of money and go for that. It really is a beautiful, beautiful formulation. But really, L'Oreal scientists, what makes you think we want to smell like a teenager trying to get his first snog at a disco? I don't know. Anyway, 2 products, one at 30, one a third of the price. Personally, I like the more expensive version because I like my skincare unscented, but they're kind of doing the same thing for skin. And trust me, they're the beginning of a massive focus. Hyaluronic acid has been in skincare for a while, but now they're being supercharged and super amped up, and they're coming out as their main active ingredient. Such a nice way to moisturise your skin without loading it with occlusive, heavy oils and emollients, which most of us do not need, and we certainly don't need in summer. Let's go to cleansers. I'm a double cleanser. I use a cream cleanser to take off my makeup, especially I've been filming and I'm wearing a lot of makeup like this and tight line and all that. But I always cleanse with an acid cleanser afterwards. And just recently I've been testing a lot of liquid foundations, which I'm going to talk to you about next week. And they are designed to bond to your skin, especially if they've got an SPF in. And you need to get rid of that. And you need to get rid of that with a cream cleanser. But I don't like leaving a cream cleanser on my skin. I don't like leaving an oil cleanser on my skin. I tend to break out if I do. So I use a rinse off gel glycolic non-foaming cleanser afterwards. Here's one I really love. It's called MZ Skin. It's actually by an ocular plastic surgeon and aesthetic doctor called Miriam Zamani. It's available at Harrods. It's £56. It's called Cleanse and Clarify, and it's a dual action AHA cream. And what I do is I cream cleanse my face first, and then I wipe all my makeup off with my muslin cleanser, and then I apply this. And what I do is you can also use it as a mask for 10 minutes. So what I do is put it on, and so I dry my face, put this on, then I clean my teeth. So it's on for at least 3 minutes on my skin, which is what I really like. And I think it does an excellent job of exfoliating, especially for me. Now I'm using Retin-A, the dry skin, but also getting rid of that liquid makeup that is designed to bond to your skin. Okay, I love it. It's a really great product. It's not particularly scented. It's just a great product. If money's not a problem, buy it. But if money is a problem, how about this one? This is Rhodial Super Acids, which is a glycolic exfoliating cleanser. So same active ingredient. I use it in exactly the same way. In fact, you can see how much I've used. In fact, the Miriam Zamani one is nearly empty now. And I rotate the two. Now let me double check the prices. As I said, the Miriam Zamani one is £56, the Rhodial one is £33. Still not that cheap, but interestingly enough, just as I said with the body lotions, for some reason, the mass market, the truly mass market, where I mean products that cost around £10 or £15, hasn't seemed to caught on to this glycolic cleanser thing yet. Trust me, it will. In the meantime, if you're on a budget, you're getting more here. You're getting 135ml versus 100ml, and so it's roughly half the price. It really is. And essentially, they do the same thing. Now, talking of cleansers I love, I've spoken endlessly about my love for Dermalogica Daily Microfoliant, which is a super fine rice powder with salicylic acid in that you can use every day on your face. I'm not a fan of grainy scrubs. but I make an exception when it comes to fine rice-based powders that release salicylic acid onto the skin. They work in 60 seconds. They're just really lovely and perfect for me because of my peeling party retin-A thing. If you want to know what I'm talking about, have a look below at all the other videos where I've talked about it. So I have two that I want to compare. This is really interesting because Dior have got a range called Hydra Life, and this is Hydra Life Time to Glow Ultra Fine Powder, and I love it. I kind of really love it. It's really nice. It's a super fine, I'm going to put it on the back of my hand here. It's basically just like daily microfoliant. Can you see that without it falling off my hand? It's super fine, doesn't irritate the skin. I mean, it's quite heavily scented. I don't really mind my cleansers scented too much because it doesn't really stay on your skin and it rinses off really quickly. I mean, it's scented like a really beautiful, soft, almost slightly rose powder, which is actually really lovely. It really does leave your skin. You can use it on its own, or you can add it into one of the cleansers or mix with one of the cleansers, but actually on its own, it's just really beautiful, lightly exfoliating, a super fine exfoliant that also has a slight physical chemical action in it. It's just great. I really like it. So if you're going to use a cream cleanser first, you could either add it into your cream cleanser, or you could use your cream cleanser, rinse off, and then use this as your second step in place of the glycolic cleanser. Now, if you want to save some money, Bare Minerals have Exfoliate Mix Smooth. Now, I mean, this is the annoying thing. This is £32, but it's quite a large size. It's 1.4 ounces or 40 grams. This is only £18. That's considerably smaller, isn't it? I mean, it's half the size. So technically, is it cheaper? I mean, if you want to save money, this is a really lovely one. This has been specifically formulated, even though I bastardized the other one by mixing it in with my cleanser. This has been specifically formulated to mix into your cleanser, to super amp your cleanser up. I've put far too much on my hand. There you go. So not going to want to waste that. Honestly, I'm such my mother's daughter. I'm going to screw the top off and put it back in. I really cannot bear to waste beauty products. So that has exactly the same action. It has a topical physical action, but super fine, won't scratch the surface of your skin. These things disappear as well, so they're completely safe, no microbeads for the environment. That's me on my favourite skincare dupes. I'm sure there are lots of others out there, and if I dug deep in my archives, I could find loads more. But in terms of exciting things that are happening in beauty at the moment, I do think it's cleansing powders, glycolic cleansers, and everything hyaluronic acid. If you've got any beauty dupes, particularly skincare dupes, list them below, and if you can, try and source the price of the original and the dupe, because it's basically all about saving money. And next week I'm going to do makeup dupes as well. Have a good Easter if you're watching this the minute I put it up. I promise I'll answer questions below, and I tend to come back once a day and answer any outstanding questions. But always read the strands above, because people tend to ask the same questions, and if I don't answer, then you wonderful people tend to help each other out. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you next week.